All righty, we are back. Thanks for staying with us. Call number is 1-347-326-9626. I want to announce shortly, coming on our show, very happy to have him, Michigan State Representative Phil Cavanaugh of District 17, Redford, North Dearborn, and Livonia. He's going to be calling in. Also later in the show, Tim Beck, longtime medical marijuana advocate, grandfather of the medical marijuana and marijuana movement, I would say, oftentimes referred to. I think I called him the Godfather last time. It was not the way to refer to him, but Tim is a dear friend and feisty advocate, to say the least. I want to talk, as we often do, about some of the success stories. We've got two very, very important and outstanding stories. We've got Mike McShane, of course, Skittles, who's going to step up to the microphone in a minute. But Mike McShane, verification, evidence standing before us of cannabis curing cancer. Mike has also begun a treatment with Simpson oil. Mike, why don't you tell us what's been going on with you and what this plan is?
Thank you, Michael. Well, aside from the success from the cancer treatment from last year, which was just epic and fantastic and all that stuff, I've kind of upped the ante. My big problem has always been the HIV. So I stated earlier that on January 15th I'd be starting a Simpson oil treatment, but this is internal, not like the one we did before with the topical. This is actually in a capsule, a 1-gram capsule, twice a day for 90 days. And my intention is I'm going to control the HIV without medication and keep my viral load at 0 and my T4 helper cells up around 900, and I'll be happy.
So I'm assuming they've got a baseline of your current situation, of some measurement of some kind, and you're going to be measuring these as we go along over the next 3 months, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not, but the DMC is. I was down there yesterday, and it was kind of a surprise visit. I came in unannounced, and I met with my doctor. I let him know that on December 1st I quit taking all the pharmaceuticals, which he was a little taken back on. But then I went on to say that it's my intention to cure AIDS with Rick Simpson oil. That's what I'm all about right now. And his comment was that he'd always had the desire to be on the cover of Time magazine. And, so
your doctor?
Maybe this would be your opportunity. So yeah, that's what his comment was. So they are going to monitor all those critical numbers and let me know how we're doing. I'm going to see them on January 9th for the first time. But this treatment's going to start in 10 days. I've been waiting 9,400 days to start this treatment. I got 10 days left.
Wow. Very rare do we hear about a doctor that's willing to immediately go along with this and help to monitor it, and especially out of a large health system like that. That's
it's great. Cool. It is great, Jamie. Now, this particular physician is a very important person, and probably the most important person in the state of Michigan in regards to HIV. But also the physician that signed and endorsed my Michigan medical marijuana card. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Talk about a bona fide doctor-patient relationship. Nothing better than that.
It is. It's as good as it gets. I've known these folks for 20-some years. It's been going on a really long time.
But Mike, I've heard you say before that originally they would not certify. It wasn't until your success with cannabis was proven to them that they actually began to. And you even referred at times, I mean, jokingly in the past, like, yep, even though I had HIV and you've got cancer, you had to go to a pot shop doctor. The DMC would not certify. But now they've seen the success and they're beginning to get on board, which is, an important. I mean, it's probably the success story of the year. If we were doing a, awards ceremony, I think this is it. And the encouragement from the DMC in getting involved is phenomenal at this point.
It is. I'm very happy, and of course we need those numbers, to protect me, making sure I'm doing the right thing, and not getting into trouble. But based on what I've seen with my cancer success and the other stories that have been shared with me, I've spoke with Rick Simpson here on your show, Michael, which was just a an absolutely great experience. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to really do it.
Well, the documentation and the way that it'll be handled in a medical way will make the results indisputable with either our supporters or our detractors. So having the participation of the traditional medical community is really what's going to make this successful. The story itself is remarkable, but to have it documented in such a way is not something I'm familiar with that's happened in Michigan before.
Very exciting times in treatments. Also, stepping up to the microphone and courageous to share her story, even though we're going by code names tonight, but Skittles, a good friend of ours, an attorney, a sister in the bar. Welcome, and thanks for being here and being willing to talk about your condition and how cannabis has affected it.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for having me here.
My pleasure.
Well, to talk about my situation, I've had chronic health problems almost all of my life. As a child, I was asthmatic and had very severe allergies to the point that I nearly died at age 3. I moved on through that and probably became more normal like in my teenage years, but then towards the end of my teenage years, I also started suffering some really painful female reproductive issues that put me through 4 surgeries over the years. And during law school, I actually developed carpal tunnel and was not able to even write my own exams. I had to have a scribe. I also had to do the bar exam that way. And that was my first entry into disability law and what it would take to get accommodations for a disability, and my entry into what it was like to have a condition that kept me from doing something that I needed to do, which was to write. And then I proceeded through my career and basically got cut off in my mid-30s by a very painful condition called fibromyalgia, which is basically, I explain to people, it's like having mononucleosis and having arthritis at the same time. You're tired a lot and you hurt a lot. And I've basically tried almost every type of medication you can take to control pain. I've been on opioids. I've had OxyContin. I've done morphine. I've probably tried at least 12 different types of sleep medicines. Tried new treatments that come out specifically meant for fibromyalgia, and also have tried treatments that are off-label for fibromyalgia. And none of them really solved my issues. They just gave me new issues, which was side effects, being sick, being nauseous, throwing up if I didn't get the next medication dose in at the right time. And last year, a friend of mine asked me what I knew about medical marijuana. I didn't know anything. And when I tried it, I found immediate pain relief and a type of pain relief that I can control. If my pain is worse, I can take more of it. If it's not so bad, I can take less and basically control my day. And the big change for me has been taking the Simpson oil at night to go to sleep. I'm no longer taking any sleep medications, which I've been taking sleep medications for 10 years, habitually for 10 years.
Now, you described it, and Mike's described it before, you're ingesting it by mixing it into peanut butter.
Yes, into peanut butter.
Who told you about that? Just
peanut
kidding.
Butter.
I'm just kidding. Who happened to show up, by the way. We didn't introduce him. Thanks for being here, my friend. And
hello.
You're being quiet because we're hearing one of the success stories of your good love. But, it's not as smoking, and you found this way of ingestion to be quite successful. In fact, I heard you describe earlier, in the course of pain treatment, I know doctors will have you measure the scale of pain on a 0 to 10.
Yeah, well, and until I started the peanut butter, most of my days were pain level 7 or 8. I got to a little bit higher than that and had went to my doctor a couple weeks ago and asked her to try an opioid, Ultram, and that made me throw up. It made me sick to my head. It made me sick to my stomach. I broke out in a rash. But I was at that point where I was telling my husband, I've got to do something about pain again that's maybe upping it up, because I just couldn't get it completely under control, although the medical marijuana was helping. So then peanut butter gave me some of his Simpson oil, and I've been doing that for 2 weeks straight. And my pain levels are now probably on some days, on a really good day like today, I'm like a 2 or a 3. But I'm coping, which if I were on an opioid, I'd have to take that opioid every 8 hours, without fail or go into withdrawal, and I wouldn't be able to titrate my dose, which I still can with smoking and with ingesting the Simpson oil. So I think it's a very successful story.